There was a scientist who decided to do an experiment with a bunch of fleas. The first time they put the fleas in a jar and left the lid off, and all the fleas jumped out immediately. The next time they put the fleas back in the jar and they put the lid on, and the fleas kept jumping and bouncing off the lid until over time they started to jump lower so they didn't hit that barrier. The scientists then removed the lid and found the fleas still jumped at the same height. They never jumped out of the jar again. And sometimes fear can be like that. It can be this invisible barrier holding us back from the freedom that Jesus has for us. Our fear can keep us prisoner, but that's not what God wants for us. Time and time again, God speaks into fear. In Matthew 8:24-27, the disciples were in a boat and suddenly a huge storm picked up. The disciples were absolutely terrified and they thought they were going to drown, but Jesus spoke to the wind and waves and calmed them with just one word. In 1 Peter 5 verse 7, it says, "Cast your anxieties on him because he cares for you." Time and time again, God says, "Do not be afraid, for I am with you." Maybe right now you feel trapped by fear. Maybe it makes you feel paralyzed. Maybe it's stopping you from doing things you want to do. Maybe anxiety is ruling your decisions. Maybe even as you're listening to this, you feel your chest getting tight and your heart racing. But fear doesn't have to control us. We can invite Jesus in, and when we do, he doesn't just take the lid off the jar, but he smashes the whole thing and invites us to walk into the freedom he has for us. So we all have a decision to make. Do we want to invite Jesus into our fear?